Going live.
Snip a hole in the carrot, Neal, pour the coffee through this.
All right, and welcome back to the station of decapitation without your head. I'm Nasty Neal.
That would make me terrible Troy.
I'm Treacherous, Trista.
And Beheading Justin.
Excellent, excellent. Someone suggested that it was Justin Beheading at the end instead of beheading, but then it didn't match the font of everyone else. But it was a good suggestion.
I do like that suggestion.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. It's well thought out for sure.
Yeah. All right. I'll change. I'm gonna go change your banner right now. No, we'll do that. We'll do that later. But it's a special show today. It's so it's not. It's the eve. It's Christmas Eve. I believe. We're gonna do our. Yes, we're gonna do our 13 Christmas horror films. This will be a fun show.
Always.
This was a hard one for me to narrow down because I could do like.
Also true.
Just all of them could make my list, even the bad ones. But we'll get to them too. All right, and I apologize in advance if I cannot read comments in the chat. Yo peeps from Alan Postscript. I could read that one. All right, so who wants to start the evening? Maybe we'll start with Justin since he's our guest this evening.
Yes, good
For
call.
sure. So how are we
Start
doing?
with 13, number 13.
Yeah.
And we'll all do our 13, and then we'll move it down.
Perfect. That's how I thought it would go. So my number 13 would have to go to Rare Exports.
Excellent.
Yeah. So it's, I guess looking at this list now that I have on this note card, it's actually not the most recent of the bunch. But so what made the list for me on this movie is, for those who don't know, Rare Exports is about Santa Claus being this evil entity that has been buried underground for thousands of years and is just about to be unearthed by this construction crew. And there's this little boy that finds out about it who basically tries to stop that. And in the process, you have all these evil elves that come out, and you find Santa has actually been brought out and is stuck inside of a giant ice cube in this warehouse. And it's a very interesting film just because of how it just all the little different things that they do with Christmas in this film and just turn it around for the horror aesthetic of it. It's a very interesting film. It makes the bottom of the list because there were some things that I wasn't so fond of with it, but I won't go into those because I'd rather go into this spoiler free.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm with you on the movie too. I actually, it didn't quite make my list, but I love the idea of it and the visuals of the movie.
Yeah, the premise is great in that movie. I agree. Like, I just wish like the build up led up to a better ending, I guess.
And anyone out there wants to see a lot of naked, creepy Santa Clauses, this is your film.
Or actually, they were more like, were they elves? I'm trying to remember.
That's true.
I can't remember either.
It's on my list of my 13 favorite naked elderly men movies.
And for anyone that has Shudder, you can find it on there.
Very good. Yeah, Shudder has a lot of cool selections on there.
Most of the things on my list are on Shudder.
Oh, nice.
That's a good thing.
Let's see. We'll go around this way. So, Troy, what's your number 13?
My 13, I've got Santa's Sleigh, which is kind of a mindless, lot of fun movie. It's big body count. I think it might be the biggest body count on my list, and yeah, it's a fun movie. And if you ever wanted to see like Bill Goldberg as Santa Claus, it's the movie for you.
Mm-hmm. And finally, a dream duo, James Caan and Bill Goldberg together in a film.
Yep.
Trista,
yep, it's number 13, and that's probably where it belongs.
Yeah, it is a fun movie. Trista, you're 13.
My 13 is bending the genre rules a little bit, but it's Home Alone, and I still contend that Home Alone is a horror film. We've talked about this. It's a small 8-year-old boy alone in a house. It's a home invasion film, and these two grown men are trying to come in. And I love this film. So my 13 is.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
Thank you.
Yep.
It's a
And
classic.
it's got Joe Pesci. How can you go wrong?
Exactly.
Yeah, and he's great in it.
He is. My number 13, if I could see here through my coal eyes, is A Christmas Horror Story. It's William Shatner. It's a
Nice.
funny anthology. And you get like a buff Santa Claus, like a roided
yeah.
up Santa Claus battling Krampus. So that's
And
probably
Krampus is
what
all
makes my
buff
list.
too.
Yeah, it brings out the wrestling fan in me.
Yeah. Yep.
It's not the greatest film, I'll admit, but I enjoy it. And I
Same
get
here.
a kick out of William Shatner.
Oh, he was one of the best parts for sure.
Yeah. All right, now we're to the dozen here. Number 12.
So this is where we're going for some repeats here. My number 12, coincidentally, is A Christmas Horror Story.
Oh, nice.
That's
And-
also my number 12. So we're going to get that off everybody's list.
Oh man.
You guys didn't put Home Alone on your list? What kind
That's
of horror fans are you?
my number 1. You're going to have to
Thank
build
you.
up.
But I guess my reasons for making the list, there's a few similar ones that Troy pointed out. Namely, the thing that almost bumped it off the list was the fact that most of the stories beforehand are they have good setups. They don't have very good resolution.
Yeah.
The majority of the stories, like there's one that's takes place like in a Catholic school, if I remember correctly, that had a good setup but not a very good ending. There was
Yep.
one about a family getting attacked by Krampus that was also kind of a similar story. The one that was the most that kept my attention the most was Santa fighting all his elves.
That is the
have
best
a
one,
zombie
yeah.
virus,
Yeah.
which then leads to a fight with Krampus.
Was that like the
Uh,
wraparound in that? Is that
The wraparound was William
Shatner, isn't it? Yeah.
oh,
Oh, I
is it?
guess that isn't that part of the wraparound because he's like the guy that's being attacked by Santa's calling in, or Santa's calling in, or something.
Yes, it was part of the wraparound. So so it kind of works its way back around. So I think, and ultimately that segment and the finale of it,
Yeah.
was the ending, which again I do not want to spoil, is what put it on the list and bumped it up over Rare Exports. Rare Exports being the exact being basically like one of the stories in the Christmas Horror Story. Great setup, not so great ending.
Mm-hmm. Good choice.
Thank you.
Agreed.
All right, so that was 12. Troy, you're 12.
That's my 12 as
Oh,
well.
that's right. Yeah.
Yep.
Trista, do you have a horror movie for number 12? I'm just teasing.
I do. My 12 is Better Watch Out, which is the inverse of Home Alone.
It
guys.
is.
The
It
whole
is.
film is an homage to Home Alone. So
Mhm.
maybe I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, Better Watch Out was very good. I
love
thought
it.
the twist was very I saw the twist coming, but it's still a well executed film with a lot of dark humor, which is my favorite.
I agree with you 100%. It's actually on my list a little higher, but
Mine
not
too.
too much higher. But I love
Right
it too.
below Home Alone, right?
It is.
It's
It is.
right near there.
Yeah, perfect.
Maybe it's on a tie. Yeah. But yeah, that's one of my favorite modern Christmas horror movies. It's just a really fun movie, and like you said, definitely dark horror, dark humor, because I find it
And
very
some
funny. Although it's
young actors too.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
because there are some gruesome scenes in the movie, but it's still
Big time.
I find it fun.
That paint can scene
Yeah.
was an amazing homage to Home
Yep.
Alone, right?
Yeah.
And it's so well executed.
Hmm.
It also gives you the realistic side of
Right.
life with something.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
So don't
See, I
try
was
this at
going
home, kids.
somewhere with this, guys.
Yeah, see. So my number 12, I don't know. I doubt it'll make anyone else's list, but Silent Night, Deadly Night 5, The Toy Maker.
5?
Number 5. It's the most like bizarre film of the Silent Night, Deadly Night franchise. I remember I always was a fan of the first two.
Yep.
I won't talk so much, but the second one is really just 45 minutes of the first movie. Then
It is. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, I've never seen a movie that's like so,
Me either.
which kind of makes me love it in a way. But if you watch, they're not good to watch back to back though.
It's
No,
like
probably
watching
not.
the same movie twice.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And then after that, they just really go off the rails. And
Which one is Clint Howard in?
that's number 4.
Oh, okay.
That one's I'm not a fan. But so I get to the 5th one, and I pretty much had given up. And then this movie is just totally batshit crazy. It's got Mickey Rooney in it.
Who
And
originally had so much to say about the first movie too.
Wow.
He makes it, and the end is just insane. I don't want to spoil it, but there's basically like he basically makes like his own Pinocchio, he's like a Ken doll, so he's got no genitals, but he's also in love and wants to have sex with his mom, and it's just insane.
This sounds great. I can't wait.
Yeah,
Yes,
me too.
I
gotta
highly
watch
recommend it.
now.
Or Home Alone.
Right.
Yeah, see,
Well, I think it makes
They
a
both
good
have
double
those
feature.
Oedipus things going on,
Yeah.
and so
It's
that's
a good double
perfect.
feature, I think. Yeah. But I highly recommend Silent Night, Deadly Night 5. I might even move it up higher in my list if I think about it.
Which I must say is still always fascinating to me, that still having not seen part 5, but knowing that Mickey Rooney crashed the first movie and, talk about how it was, attacking such a sacred holiday. And then here he comes in part 5.
Well, that had a big check with it, part 5. So it kind of changed his mind a little bit.
Yeah, it helps, huh?
Rankin Bass weren't on the phone. They weren't doing the, hey, we're going to make Rudolph Shiny
Right.
Happy Christmas Part 7.
And it's produced by Brian Usna, who will be on the show next week.
Nice. All right, I'll have to watch it before next week, though.
You got to do it. Now we're into 11.
Alrighty. So my number 11 is another one of Troy's, actually, Santa's Sleigh.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yes. Which that's one I saw recently, actually, because I had heard about it all this time. And the opening scene is when I knew that I was going to love the movie. Just the massacre of James Caan, Fran Drescher, Chris Kattan, Rebecca Gayheart. And I know that I feel like there's one other actor I'm missing in that scene, but just the way that Bill Goldberg just decimates this family at Christmas dinner is just fantastic. And I mean, the deaths in the movie are just great. The one that sticks in my mind the most is the guy that tries to mug Bill Goldberg as Santa Claus, and then he just bends him backwards and shoves a candy cane through the back of his head and out his eye. It's just such a fun movie. I love it. I fell in love with it as soon as I saw it.
And Goldberg's got like the best hairpiece too. It just looks so good on him.
Oh yeah.
Like the Santa rug looks dynamite on him.
Not to mention the bison for a reindeer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's badass.
Oh,
I'm a fan as well. It didn't make my list, but I'm a fan. Number 11, Troy.
Number 11, I have Christmas Evil from 1980 on there. Which, again, not a perfect movie, but a lot of fun.
Amazing ending.
Oh, yeah, the best ending.
Cheap plug. You can listen to interview with Brandon Maggart, the star of Christmas Evil on Without Your Head. I think it was about a year ago this week.
I think you're right, yeah.
It was the last interview I did before I went out to LA anyway. But yeah, I love that movie. It's a lot higher in my
That
list.
one's a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
And again, I don't want to spoil, but the ending is just really makes the movie. But honestly, it's a really well acted movie.
Yeah,
Because it could just be like kind of a silly horror movie, which some of these are, but I think his performance as the killer adds a lot of sympathy to the role.
Yeah.
Number 11, Trista.
My 11, sorry, Beverly is crashing the party.
Aw.
Beverly.
My 11 is The Lodge.
I've not seen The Lodge.
Oh, I recommend it.
I
I'm
haven't
really
either. I haven't seen
Really
it.
good.
into cult stuff. I don't know
Mhm.
if you guys are into cult stuff. I'm really fascinated by cults. So anything with cult
Fine.
appeals to me. What did you say?
Oh, I was saying, as am I.
Oh yeah? Oh, I didn't know that.
I mean-
I'm always finding more things we have in common. It's weird. Kitties and cults are where it's at. Really.
Oh, definitely. And the two are so intertwined.
Yep.
But I watch a lot of cult docs. Like cults fascinate me so much. And so that was a big appeal with this film. But I recommend it. I think it was really well made. Really.
All right, I'll have to check that
Yeah,
one out.
Tomb of Nick Cage is yelling at me in the chat that I have not seen The Lodge, but they agree with you. It's an awesome pick. They say it's awesome and horrifying.
I agree.
I didn't do my 11 yet, right? No, yeah.
No, you did.
My number 11 is probably cheating because it's not a feature film, but it's a short, but I think it's absolutely amazing, and that is Treevenge. And it's about Christmas trees that get their revenge and start to eat people. And
I'm
I absolutely
sold
love
just
it.
from that, just from the description.
Yeah, I wanted to play it during our festival, but I didn't get a reply if we could play it or not, and so I didn't want to just play it. But Treevenge, absolutely great. Great music.
This is
And,
3 movies now that I'm going to have to watch just from so far early in this episode.
Yeah, I'm a fan of inanimate objects that come to life and kill people.
That's the snowman.
I thought he was just going to stop there. I'm a fan of inanimate objects.
Well, I learned that I can actually.
I love them.
I can kind of move my nose.
Oh, yeah, that's a neat trick. I like it.
Oh, that's great. As a door.
All right. Number 10.
So my
By the
number-
way, Treevenge is on YouTube for free, so you can check it out.
All right, good.
So my number 10 is yet another so bad it's good Christmas horror movie. Jack Frost, the one about the killer snake. Which
The snowman gives it 2 thumbs up.
Yep.
that is great. How fitting. And it's something that I was just thinking about earlier, that basically the movie is child's play if it was a snowman, because you have this killer that dies, but the spirit of the killer is put into a snowman. And just seeing this very both well-made and also cheaply made snowman suit, guy in a snowman suit wandering around killing people is just phenomenal. Especially, if I remember correctly, it was he used the nose a lot to kill people. So,
Well, was his nose like an icicle? Or was it a carrot? I can't
Oh,
remember.
Carrot.
I think
Was it?
he shot out icicles actually.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's
There's
sort
a
of
great
like
death in that. Sorry, what were you gonna say, Neal?
there's like a weird sexual scene when he's in a bathtub with the woman.
Yeah, that's the one I was referring to.
That's my personal favorite scene of the movie, but yeah.
And it was the two American Pie.
Right. If we ever do our 13 favorite sex scenes in horror, that's gonna be in there.
That's making the list.
It's a very effective scene.
It is. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I agree with everything you said because it's very silly and cheesy, but it's also, I think, a good movie.
Oh, it's a ton of fun, that
Yeah.
movie, yeah.
It is higher on the list.
Oh,
Not to mention, this is a movie where I will kind of spoil one thing, just because I don't think it'll kill anybody's interest in the movie, but just the fact that they killed the snowman with antifreeze
Yes.
from a car is amazing.
And in the sequel, he comes back on like a tropical island.
Oh.
I don't
By the
think
way-
I've seen the sequel.
It's not as good, but
No.
I still enjoy it. Bill Whedon here in the chat, our friend Bill Whedon, he says, Brandon Maggart of Christmas Evil is a dear old friend of mine and also the father of Fiona Apple.
Oh wow.
Wow, did not know that.
Very cool. All right. And he also said Silent Night, Deadly Night 5 sounds like Halloween 3. Really, the last 2 are sort of, because like the first 2 are, about the same people, and the third one loosely is. I guess it is. So the first 3 are about, then the 4th and the 5th are not really about the same characters anymore. All right. Sorry, I lost my ice holes for a minute. Didn't know where I was.
Yeah, sometimes you have that look of maybe like a Cyclops snowman. You just have like the one center eye going. I kind of like.
That's kind of creepy.
It is. I kind of dig that. So that was number 10.
Yes.
My number 10 is the original Silent Night, Deadly Night, which I love that movie. I can go back to it every now and then and watch it. Have a lot of fun with it. I'm sure it's on everybody's list higher up.
Yeah, it's got I think one of the creepiest kills with the plastic bag over the face.
Oh no, that's Black Christmas.
Oh, yeah. You said, the original Silent Night, Deadly Night. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's hard. Both are on the list. But yeah, Silent Night, Deadly Night's a very fun movie. I think it's one of the best poster arts.
Yeah, agreed.
Black Christmas has some of the best poster art too, actually.
Also true.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, the old 70s ones are all great. I love those.
It's also one of the funnest Siskel and Eberts to watch.
Oh, do they get very upset about it?
Oh yeah, it's kind of strange. They like start telling like all the producers' names and like give out. I don't think they give out their home addresses, but like they're basically telling you like get a hold of them.
Don't ever watch these guys.
Yeah, trying to get them blackballed for making this movie. It's kind of weird.
One boy, he literally says about one of the filmmakers, "Shame on you. You have nothing to gain from this, even if it was a cheap thrill. It was and he called it like blood money or something."
Oh really?
Yeah, like they takes it really personal.
Wow.
Black Christmas?
No, Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I know they don't like. I mean, I just don't know that they appreciated horror, really.
No, it's weird because I found out recently because when I was doing a lot of research for Brian Usna, Ebert loved The Reanimator.
Oh, really?
Which is really strange because like a lot of the horror stuff he just like hates.
Oh yeah, he would hate without even watching, I think.
Because one of the funniest, I know we're getting a little off topic, but one of the funniest ones to me is Friday the 13th Part 4, because he's like saying that like it would like ruin like people's like life because like children will see it and they'll think this is what life is all about. And I'm like, who would go see Friday the 13th Part 4 and think this is, I'm gonna live my life? I mean,
it changed my life. Friday the 13th Part 4.
Then again, Friday the 13th Part 4 didn't have moms protesting to have the movie pulled out of theaters like Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Yeah. I mean, it did its job. It pushed buttons.
Oh, very much so.
So let's see. Where were we? This is
number
what?
10.
10. All right. We're to Trista, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah, my number 10 is also a short film. And it's Die Santa Die. I love
it.
Nice.
That makes my heart grow.
Yeah.
It's
very
so
excited.
good. I've been singing like in the shower, like Die Santa Die.
I wish I added it to my list though, because I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Years
agreed.
ago, I bookmarked it, and then I was so happy to have a chance to play it. And the fact that you really liked it as much as me made me very happy.
I loved it so much. It made me laugh out loud all by myself.
I had the same reaction the first time and the 100th time I've seen it. So. I love the contrast of the, it's all cute, and he's just totally killing Santa Claus. Especially the voice, I think, really puts it over.
Yeah, it's hilarious. I love it.
It is. Let's see. That was 10. I'm going to take my 10 out and put Die Santa Die. But no, we'll put it at 13A, I guess. 10, I have Better Watch Out, which was brought up earlier.
Excellent choice.
Very fun movie.
Slash Home Alone, right?
Right, yeah, of course. I think that goes without saying. Number 9, Justin.
The number 9 is another one we've mentioned prior, Christmas Evil. And especially as someone who loves movies like, say, Taxi Driver, that's especially what clicked with me about Christmas Evil was, just the
I
fact
could definitely see that.
that you have someone who is so obsessed with Santa Claus that he decides to become him and literally glues the beard to his face, and it's just a fascinating movie to watch. And what's also fun to think about is that it's an early one from Troma, actually.
I didn't even know that actually.
Yes, some releases have the Troma team releasing logo in front of it.
I know when I talked to Brandon Maggart, he was gonna. I should contact him again. He was gonna try to get the director on. I'd be interested because a lot of people from that era who had their movies distributed by Troma don't have the best things to say. So it'd be interesting.
True.
But it's a great pick because I love the movie. In the chat room, real quick, Bill Whedon says The Lodge is very good but very depressing. The star Riley is Elvis's granddaughter. I don't know that. And I said Reanimator is one of his favorite horror movies. And AJ says the ladies love the nose wiggle. All right. Troy, what's your number? What are we, 9? Yeah, 9.
Number 9. Okay. My number 9 takes place during Christmas, but that's about all it really has to do with Christmas. I know. Is P2, which it's cool. Wes Bentley. He's this crazy parking lot attendant and kidnaps this woman. I liked it a lot. I just think it's a really disturbing movie.
I have to admit, I've not seen P2.
No, I think you'd like it.
That as well.
I'll have to check that out. I actually think that's on Shudder too, because I think I saw it when I was browsing the movie because they added a bunch of stuff for Christmas. And I think that was one of them.
It probably is because, like I said, it takes place during Christmas, and he's just fabulous in it. He's great.
I will check that out.
I think of it whenever I'm on level P2 in a park.
Oh, really?
I get a little scared. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how my girlfriend is too. She's like, "Yep, I always think back to that movie." Yep.
All right, number 9 for you, Trista. By the way, Alan says P2 has some intense scenes. The chair and Carl, I think.
My 9 is The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Nice.
I love Tim Burton. I love those characters.
Yeah, that's a great. I mean, what more can you say about it? It's iconic.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that.
Yeah,
that's one I have to sing along to every time I watch it.
Oh, it's definitely.
And the Wickus that we played in Severed Limbs, I thought his animation was very similar to the Tim Burton stuff.
I thought so as well. Yeah, I really like that one.
Mm-hmm. I did too.
Especially that song.
Was that, sorry?
Oh, I was saying especially the opening song.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. My number 9 is Anna and the Apocalypse.
Excellent choice, too.
Which I'm a big fan of. I'm a musical fan. I know people probably don't know that about me, even though I say that every time. But
you're going to pound it until they do know.
Right. It's a zombies, Christmas, musical. What's not to love? The music works. The zombie stuff is good. It's fun. It's a good movie.
Both of those movies might be higher on my list.
We were going to see it at Fright Fest in London originally, but I think we got lost traveling London, so we missed it. But I did get to see it in the theater after that. And also, cheap plug, you can check out a bunch of interviews with the cast on the Without Your Head site. Your number, I believe that's on Shudder or something as well right now.
Yeah, I think it is.
I might have seen that on there too.
Number 9 for you, Troy.
Oh, I think Justin's number 9.
Oh, I
or
think
number
we're on
8.
number 8.
Oh, 8. I'm sorry. By the way, Bill Whedon says you've made him want to see P2.
Oh, good.
And the Tomb of Nick Cage is a fan. All right.
Alrighty. So my number 8 is the Creepshow Holiday Special, which just recently appeared on Shudder.
I just watched that. Yeah.
It's great. It's
loved it.
Yeah, just brief little for anyone that hasn't seen it yet out there. It's basically an Alcoholics Anonymous group for people that can turn into different kinds of creatures. There's a girl that turns into a were cheetah, basically the werewolf version, a cheetah version of a werewolf. But then they also have other ones, like someone actually turns into a were tortoise, which just basically means they eat lots of lettuce and stuff like that. And then you have
That'd
another
be badass. I would love that.
Oh yeah. Someone who turns into a were-boar, and then they actually have a furry in the group who doesn't turn into anything, he just puts on a costume.
Hey.
They're joined by
What a freak.
I know, a little weirdo over there.
Feels a Frosty, I think. He's going to start his own group.
Frosty Anonymous. But then they're joined by a werewolf, and as it turns out, God created Santa Claus to basically kill werewolves and other were creatures. And so it's basically about Santa Claus coming to kill these were creatures with the help of a bunch of mall Santas to basically rid the world of them. And it leads to this giant battle, and it's great. It's phenomenal.
If I didn't already like it, you would have sold me on.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Now I kind of wish I hadn't seen it. I would have been like, holy shit. Kind of had that one to this.
Oh, yeah. No, I was waiting for that one. As soon as I heard about it, I was like, oh, when is that coming on? Oh, all right.
I just saw that one just a couple days ago.
Yeah, I did too. And the animated special is really good too. Not Christmas related.
That one's great.
Now it's to Troy number 8.
My number 8, I have the 1974 Black Christmas as my number 8.
Classic.
Now, as I said before, that has one of the best kill scene. I think it's one of like most effective with the
it's
with the plastic bat. Yeah, it's a good word, disturb.
Yeah, I like
Trista.
everything about that movie. I just really enjoy
really
it.
well.
I haven't seen that one in years, so I probably should
It's
visit
really
that
good.
one again.
The first remake is kind of not too good to me, but I've never seen the newest remake. I've not heard anything good about it though.
It's not very good.
No.
No.
Yeah, I've not heard many good things or any good things. Now I think about it. Trista.
My 8 is Ghostbusters 2.
No,
Nice.
Interesting.
Which is a film that I love. They kind of gloss over Christmas. You know, it's taking place during Christmas time for sure, but they don't make a big deal about the day, and then it goes through New Year's. But I love that movie. I love it
That's
so
great.
much. I think it holds up really well.
It's very underrated.
I think so too. I can't believe it wasn't nominated for more awards, didn't win more awards. All of the acting is great. The story, the special effects.
Oh.
It's funny. It's scary. It's a great film.
By the way, Nick Cage says about the Christmas special that Santa sounds like a jerk.
That's true. If you're anti-lycanthrope, like, screw you, Santa.
And Bill Whedon says Black Christmas 1974 is absolutely his number one favorite Christmas horror movie of all time.
Excellent.
Yeah, great choice, Tristan. I didn't even think of that as taking place in Christmas. My number 8, really, now I think about it, should be my number 1 for the night, but Jack Frost, which we had talked about. I'm a big fan. Very silly. And then they followed that up with Uncle Sam, which is also, I think, an underrated, silly horror movie.
Wow.
All right, Troy, you're number 7. I'm sorry, Justin's number 7.
Oh.
You got to keep me in line with the numbers. I think I'm like I don't have enough oxygen going to my brain.
Brain freeze.
Yeah.
Oh man. My number 7 is a French Christmas horror movie actually that I heard about last year, lost track of it until recently when I finally watched it. It's called Dial Code Santa Claus, which is also known in the States as Deadly Games.
Yeah, interesting. I went to see that. It's one of the last films I saw in the theater. They played it last year at like this It was at, I forget the name of the theater, but they have like this theater. It's a big theater, but then they have basically underground, and it only doesn't hold a lot of people. It was a really weird place to watch a movie. It was cool, but it's like Home Alone.
Very much. And it's a little kid who's a fan of action movies, namely
Sounds
Rambo.
horrifying. Go on.
He's a fan of Rambo and Commando in particular, and they have all these traps that he set up around the house to play around with, and there's this guy who dresses up as Santa Claus that tries to break into the house, and so it is very much like Home Alone. It's about him setting off all these traps to try and get this guy who's trying to kill him, and it's definitely not a kids movie for sure, because the kid gets injured at one point, and it's like a hero in an action movie having to just get by on a broken leg and fight off this guy that's trying to kill him. But I loved it, and I was, again, like a lot of the other movies on here, it's on Shudder, and I was so happy when I found it on there.
The
I'll have to watch
collector is like Home Alone too.
I can see that.
And the movie came out like a year or two before Home Alone. There's actually people who do think Home Alone. I'm not even joking. There are people who think Home Alone, copied it and made it like a kids movie out of it.
Because to be fair, I don't think there's too many people that would make that as a real movie that would get mainstream release in the U.S.
Right. Yeah, you'd have to make it more palatable for an audience. Yeah, it's actually on my honorable mentions.
Oh, nice.
Troy.
My number 7. My number 7 is also a foreign film. It's a Spanish flick called Day of the Beast from I think like 95, 96.
I think I saw that.
I was
in my apartment.
It's a weird movie. It's pretty religious, I think. Like I haven't seen it in a little while, and I might be gilding the lily a little bit. I might be thinking it's a better movie than it really was. And thinking back on it, it's kind of a dull movie, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's selling this movie.
Yeah. I'm like, go see this movie. It'll bore you to death.
Just tell us it's like Home Alone. That's the theme tonight.
It's like a Spanish Home Alone.
Home Alone has spawned a lot of horror films.
It's true.
Whole genre.
But yeah, maybe I should go back and watch this movie again before I put it on any list. But,
Bill says I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Well, I was about to say, I tried to track that one down before this podcast because I was very curious about that one myself.
Yeah, I remember enjoying
it,
but
used
we're
to
going
be on
back
YouTube,
like 25 years.
Yeah.
So.
Bill says the fact that Bob Clark directed Black Christmas and A Christmas Story is one of the weirdest pieces of trivia in movies.
Oh, yeah.
And Tumo Nick Cage says dial tone is awesome. Home Alone, but dark, dark, dark. And she also adds that kid is totally going to be a serial killer.
Oh, very much. Or the next Rambo.
That's true. Number 7, Trista.
My 7 is a film that I love so much, and that is American Psycho. I don't know if you guys remember, it does take place during Christmas. There's a great Christmas party scene in that film.
Oh yeah, you're right.
That didn't occur to me to be about it, but it does because I watched recently for the interview we did. Yeah, good.
And
choice.
that was a great interview. That was one of my favorite interviews.
Mine too.
that we did.
I like that you thought out of the box for some of these.
Yep.
Thanks. Snowman.
Number 7, my number 7. Really, only part of the movie is about Christmas, or it might be a lot higher. But Tales from the Crypt, the original Tales from the Crypt movie, the British one, and all through the house is amazing. They took that same story for the first episode of the HBO series, and I actually really like both versions. But I think I kind of like the old movie version better. It's a more realistic Santa Claus. Like he was really like a really psychopath looking guy.
Oh yeah.
But it's great. It's creepy. It's got a disturbing ending. I'm a fan. All right. Now, or did I go out of turn?
No.
No.
Oh,
Why do
no.
you always get confused?
You were good.
I don't know.
Turn?
I think I gotta make Troy in charge of the numbers for now on.
It's very confusing. I understand.
It is. It is.
It's
I don't
Justin's
know.
number 6.
I don't know how numbers work.
Numbers are, yeah, they're hard.
And Bill also adds that Trista is awesome.
Oh.
Agreed.
Whoa.
I respect
Thank
I
that.
think it's kind of debatable, but we'll,
Thank
no.
Thank you.
All right, number 6, Justin.
Number 6, there's not much I have to say about this one that hasn't already been said by anyone in this group or outside this group. Nightmare Before Christmas.
Ah, very good.
Yes. What else can you say about it?
Exactly.
Yep.
I have some patches on my old hoodie. I'm gonna try to get them off. Troy, you're number 6.
My number
What are you
6
doing?
also been what?
Looked like you were doing something. I don't know.
Nope. I
think I'm
just
losing my mind.
consulting my list.
Yeah.
Also been mentioned Anna and the Apocalypse, which
Oh, cool.
any movie that you can sing along to is always higher up on my list.
I agree. There may even be another musical on my list. Number 6 for me is Christmas Evil, which Troy brought up, and I think I bypassed Trista by accident.
You did,
Sorry.
but that's all right because I didn't step in to tell you.
I think because her
numbers
number
again.
6 is probably one we haven't talked about, so
Okay.
I thought it would be a better last number 6.
Oh, thank you.
That was a good save, I think.
I know.
Yeah.
Mhm. So you're number 6, Tristan.
Okay. My number 6 is Edward Scissorhands.
Oh,
Oh, good.
excellent.
It's got this guy in it. And
I
I
didn't-
love that movie.
I didn't even consider that as a Christmas one either. I didn't, because it probably would have made my list.
It occurred to me.
Snowman, Scissorhands.
That would be kind of creepy to make a snowman with scissor hands.
I agree.
Excellent choice. Good. That is a good movie. I haven't watched it in a long time. I should watch it again. Is that his last movie, Vincent Price?
I think so, yeah.
Think so, yeah.
Let's see. Number 5, Justin.
My number 5 is one from Tristan, and I believe Neal, you might have mentioned earlier. Better Watch Out. And especially the thing that did win me over for this movie was that I went in completely blind, not knowing a thing about it. And so based on what I was seeing at first, I had the idea of where I thought it was going to go, and then it completely went in another direction, and I was just like, ooh, I like this. This is great, especially because so much of the movie is spent with the lead female character with tape over her mouth. So most of a chunk of the movie is spent with her just having to express with her eyes her emotions, and it's great. And also just how resourceful she is. Because I love films like that, given that most of my films as of late have had female protagonists. I think that goes without saying that that's something that I enjoy seeing in a horror film, is a resourceful female main character. So, it's just fantastic. I love it. And especially the way it flips Home Alone on his head.
Yeah, I agree. I'm glad it made everyone's list. I think it made everyone's list. Except for
It did now
Troy.
because it's also my number 5.
Oh, okay.
Yep, Justin and I are on this weird wavelength on this one. It's I think this is our second or third one that's been on the same spot. So, yep, that's my number 5.
Nice.
All right. I figured out how to drink coffee, if you're wondering.
Trista's number 5.
Yeah.
My 5 is Bob Clark's Black Christmas.
Which one? I'm sorry?
The original Black Christmas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Which
all-
I think we've all got on our
Well, I haven't yet, but it is also my number 5, Tristan.
Oh,
Whoa, you guys are on that same wavelength too.
5's where it syncs up.
Yep.
5 alive. But yeah, I agree with that pick. Excellent. All right, so that's my number 5 as well. So we're getting to number 4.
Number 4, Justin.
Top 4.
Don't steal my number 4.
Number 4 is Michael Dougherty, Krampus. It's a movie I did go to see in theaters when it came out around Christmas time. And again, for anyone in the group or out of the group that hasn't seen it, it's basically this family that gets together around Christmas. This little boy shreds up his letter to Santa and basically wishes bad things on his family that ultimately brings about Krampus to bring about, basically attack his family with puppets and toys, demonic teddy bears and such, and evil elves. It's just such a phenomenal, fun movie. And actually, one brief little thing that I want to grab from my desk over here, if I may, that has to do with Krampus.
Do it.
This is something that you can actually get from FYE. Krampus.
Ooh.
Yes. And I've actually kept it all in
Oh, wow, that's nice.
yeah, that
Oh,
is
wow.
beautiful.
Oh yeah, you got the demonic teddy bear, you got the evil gingerbread man, you have Krampus himself, and then you
Oh,
have
Wow.
that's badass. I love that.
Yeah.
it's such a fun movie, and I mean I love it enough that I had to have this. So
Yeah. Very cool. Yeah, I saw it at the theater too. We went to see that. The night we went to this is a stupid thing to bring up. The night we went to see the Slutcracker.
Yeah, but that's a holiday
It
theme
is.
thing too.
It is. It's a weird live thing in Boston, and then it's a retelling of the Nutcracker, but it has a giant dildo that ejaculates snow over the crowd. It's a good time.
It's interactive. That's
Family
that's always a
fun.
plus. Yep,
It
yep.
is. Yeah.
whole family.
But Krampus, excellent choice.
I have a different number
And
4.
I love the action figure. Number 4.
Yeah, and Justin's such a good guest. He asks permission before he goes and gets something, you know.
Yeah, I think Justin's good for the 13s. We're gonna bring you
Oh,
back
without a
for more.
doubt.
Nice. I'm on board for whatever you
All
have.
right. Good, because we're gonna do it anyway. So it's good to-
Yeah. Yeah, now we don't have to kidnap you though. That's a good thing. You won't be duct taped to a chair for the next 13.
Now, who says I wouldn't like that?
Yeah, good point. Good point. I could wheel you out for the next episode.
Yeah, you and Troy are on the same wavelength again.
Yeah, yep. All right, my number 4 is Saint, which for me was kind of what I wanted from some of the movies that started out with a really good premise but never really pulled it together. This one I just loved from beginning to end, and I learned it kind of set gears in motion for me because it's all about Saint Nicholas, and then I found out a lot of the backstory with Saint Nicholas and Black Pete and Krampus and a lot of that good stuff, and the whole Saint Nicholas Day thing and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I've never seen. I think it's called this Sint in its own language. Yeah. I've never seen that movie because I don't know where you can watch it. I always thought the poster looks awesome.
Watch it on Prime right now.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, I should have looked into that.
It's on Amazon Prime.
Nice.
I really enjoy it. I liked it a lot. It's a good undead Saint Nicholas. And
oh, very cool.
Yeah.
You drew yourself as Saint Nicholas one year.
I think I did. Yeah. Yep. That you were like a sleazy Santa, and I was Saint Nicholas. Which is the great thing about Saint Nicholas is that he was this Turkish saint, and he was the patron saint of merchant marines and prostitutes, which always go hand in hand. And he was known to bring like dead prostitutes back to life and stuff. He was kind of a resurrection priest, which I guess is a good thing. And
Yeah.
some strange times though. And that he I think he lived in Spain. Like that's where he would go and deliver like switches and things to like kids that were kind of on the fringe. And so no North Pole. He was living in Spain, and he'd have his little group of Black Petes that would go out and patrol the lands and see who was misbehaving. Because you didn't get anything for being a good kid. You were expected to be a good kid. It was when you weren't a good kid that then they came tapping on your window and bad things would happen.
So remember that, everyone watching.
That's it.
All of the children watching.
Yes,
Yeah.
this is a very
Hopefully
good
not.
children's programming here, I think. Two Minute Cage's Tony Collette is always fun. One of my favorite Scream Queens.
Oh,
Mine too.
That was what, 4?
Yep.
Yeah.
Trista's number 4.
Yeah.
Thank you, Troy. My number 4, I'm gonna go out on a limb. I think Justin might be a fan of this film. My 4 is Gremlins.
I wonder what
I
game to
love
play.
this.
I love Gremlins as well.
As do I.
Excellent choice. Gizmo Kaka. All right. My number 4, I'm sure has been mentioned, Silent Night, Deadly Night. The original. All right. Now we're into the top 3. By the way, Bill's got to go. Thank you for, oh, no, he's saying false alarm. He's staying here. All right. So we know the number 3, Justin.
This is where you and I sync up, Neal. My number 3 is the original Silent Night.
Oh, excellent.
Excellent.
Excellent choice.
That's-
Anything you'd like to add that we haven't talked about?
Yeah, just that it's, for the last few years especially, it's been a staple around Christmas time for me, especially because a theater that I feel like we've talked about before on this show, and I know you've definitely been to, Trista, and I think you've been to, Neal, the New Beverly Cinema every year around, well, except for this year, around Christmas time, has a double feature of Black Christmas and Silent Night, Deadly Night. And any chance I can, I always try to get tickets to see that. So I've seen it since hearing about it at least 3 times at that theater once a year. Every other year at this point, actually, because it's, it just depends on what's going on at the time, whether I'm able to get time off work to go see it and or get tickets, because tickets always sell out for that show. And it's a fun show, especially because they show the Christmas segment from the 1970s Tales from the Crypt as the short for the night before the whole program. So
Awesome.
no, I love it. It's a fun movie.
Yeah. I think I went there last year for Die Hard, I think.
That's a fun
Unless
one.
that was another theater. Yeah.
They do it every year,
Okay.
except for this year.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, and actually, one little factoid I will drop is for anyone that has seen it, at the beginning, the old man is actually Old Man Peabody from Back to the Future.
Oh, really? Interesting. I did not know that.
Yes.
Yeah, excellent movie, excellent theater, and thanks Michael and Sophia for taking me there last year. Number 3, Troy.
And number 3, good sing-along time's been mentioned before, and my number 3 is The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Excellent. Thanks. What's your favorite character?
The Oogie Boogie Man.
Yeah.
Love him. He's the Mac Daddy.
Mm-hmm.
It's hopeless. You're finished. You haven't got a prayer. Because I'm the Oogie Boogie Man, and you ain't going nowhere.
That's really good.
If I could do a Danny Elfman, I'd do like, other songs. I need someone else to do like an Elfman with.
Excellent. We're gonna put together a musical, and Troy can
Yeah.
do some of the tunes here.
We can do Scrooge, the musical, you know?
Ooh.
Be spoiling my list here. Number 3, Trista.
My number 3 is a film I love so much, and it is Batman Returns.
Ooh,
Nice.
Penguin.
definitely
I didn't realize that was
Christmassy.
a Christmas movie till recently. Someone brought it up to me.
Yeah, I love the Penguin. He's so great in that. Is that what you said too, Penguin?
Yeah, the Penguin. Yeah.
Yeah, he's so great, and they're all great. Michael Keaton's my favorite Batman, and Michelle Pfeiffer's my favorite Catwoman.
She was my first crush, actually. For that movie.
Catwoman. She's so great in it. And now you have all these cats.
Oh,
It
yeah.
all ties together. Yeah.
You even
why
have
you
a
got-
crazy Christopher Walken in that one.
Yeah, he's so great. He's always great. But
Right.
and the whole like Art Deco aesthetic is
Oh, yeah.
really like I think there's some German expressionism in there
Oh,
as
very.
well. You know.
Plus, giving Tim Burton free reign to do whatever he wants, especially, just makes that movie really just flourish all around.
I agree.
Excellent choice. Number 3 for me is the 1951 Christmas Carol. I love
Oh, awesome.
I love all versions of the Christmas Carol. I believe. I think that's. I don't think there's any I dislike, but if I'm gonna pick one, maybe I have 2 on my list. We'll find out. But I love that. I also love Jacob Marley in that one. I think it's the coolest Jacob.
I think
Marley.
that's the best Jacob Marley. Yeah.
I dressed as that Jacob Marley for Halloween one year. But that's a really creepy version of the Christmas.
It is, you're right. Is that the Alistair Sim one?
Yes, Alistair
Yeah.
Sim is Ebenezer Scrooge. All right, number 2, Justin.
My number 2 is one that's been mentioned quite a few times tonight, the original Black Christmas. And yeah, no, it's just a great slow burn thriller, and it is fascinating to see Bob Clark go from A Christmas Story and even Porky, going into those 2 movies
Oh,
after
yeah.
Black Christmas. And not to mention, you also get Margot Kidder is a ton of fun in that movie as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Olivia Hussey is great. John Saxon, rest in peace, is also phenomenal in the movie. And it's just a great movie, and it's one that is interesting because this year was the first time I saw any of the remakes, because I just decided it was time. It was time to put aside the, I've heard they're bad, bias, and just watch the movie.
Sometimes you're surprised,
Oh yeah, and all 3 movies are ranked in the order that they came out. So
Right.
number
Right,
1 is
really?
at the top. Number 2 is not bad. It's actually pretty good for what it is, more or less the sleazy version of the original, but with some well done elements. It's well shot for one thing, well lit. Though the flashbacks that they add to it are interesting, but they give you more of a backstory to the Billy character. They're just there's only the first one of the 3 is actually properly placed, because you have someone telling the story. The other 2 that are split apart just appear here and there without much motivation, which is kind of weird. Whereas the remake that came out last year is a steaming pile of crap.
I haven't seen that one.
Does it really even follow the other 2 movies? I've not seen it.
Has a couple little references. The cat Claude pops up again in this newest one, but it's a female cat now named Claudette. And now I'm trying to remember. There is a kill. Someone is killed, and they disappear, and no one knows where this person disappeared to. And you have this moment where someone's walking away from the dormitory, and you see a shot where that person's actually lying on top of the roof of the dormitory as that person's walking away after having just looked for their friend. So there's a couple little things in there that it has in common, but they're very minute. otherwise, the rest of the movie is just it's dumb. It's full of jump scares. The main character is probably the only one I like. The rest are all very annoying. And yeah, it's not a good movie. I did not like it. Oh, and spoilers, it ends with the villains talking about how they want to basically take over the world. I'm
They're
not
like Pinky in the Brain.
It
It's
becomes a
pretty
James
cool that
Bond
way.
movie. Yeah. The 2-minute Cage says, I love Michelle Pfeiffer and Christopher Walken.
Me too.
As well you should.
Number 2 for Troy.
My number 2 has been mentioned at least once. But it's both versions of All Through the House. Both the Tales from the Crypt, the British one, and
The
I
HBO
went
one.
and I rewatched the HBO one, the one I think Zemeckis did it. And I'll give that one more props this last time I viewed it because, like, I remember talking about the British one because originally I had thought that the Santa in that looked more like the Johnny Craig Santa from the old DC Comics one. But I think that, what's his name? Larry Drake?
Yeah, it was Dr. Giggles.
Dr.
Yeah.
Giggles. I think actually his Santa looks more like
Really?
the old Craig comic one. You know,
Well, he's
but-
more it's much more cartoony version. So
Oh yeah, the version itself. But
Yeah.
like I think they kind of kept the look like really well done. But either version, I don't think you can go wrong with.
Yeah, I
think
like-
they're both
yeah.
great.
Mhm.
And Joan Collins is real good in the
yeah.
in the 70s one.
Mhm.
Really?
Yeah, I love it. I'm a fan of anthology films. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah. And then after you watch those two, then go back and find a reprint of the old Tales from the Crypt and watch the old or read the old
There,
strip.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of the comic too. Yeah.
Yep.
Number 2, Trista.
My 2 is The Night of the Hunter.
Mm.
Nice.
That's a very good one.
Now,
Yeah,
I don't have hate and love written on my knuckles. But
on your snowy knuckles.
I don't. I said I
Oh.
should have, but yeah.
Oh, it reminded it Queen of the Dead actually.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
there.
Very cool. But yeah, that's an excellent choice.
Yep.
Tristy really thought of ones I didn't think of.
Yeah,
Good
she
job.
you
Outside
nailed
the
it.
box.
Yeah.
So yeah, excellent choice. I haven't watched that in a long time, but it's always one of my favorites too. Number 2 for me is Scrooge with Albert Finney, the
Nice.
musical version. When I love this one, when I was a kid, they would show it on Channel 38, one of our local channels, and they would always cut out this one song when they dance on his. So it's at his funeral, at Ebenezer Scrooge's funeral, and they would sing and dance on his coffin, and they would cut that out of on TV because they thought it was
Thank you very much.
yeah,
So
thank you very much. That's the nicest thing that anyone's ever done for me. It's a pretty awesome scene. It's
Yeah.
it's pretty dark, really. They're happy that he's dead and they're dancing on his coffin, and then he realizes it and he's all sad. But yeah, I love it.
yeah, that one's tremendous.
It's
Finney's
also
so good.
some really creepy scenes in it too, like the. I think they would cut out that too when they show it when he's the two like pestilence and the two kids under the robe of
Oh, Christmas
Father
present.
Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah.
They would cut out a few things when they showed on TV. They probably wouldn't anymore, but at the time.
The hot soup man that's dancing on Scrooge's coffin, like he does the best job with like throwing his hat up in the air too. He doesn't like drop it once. It's pretty amazing.
I love it. All right. Number 1 time.
My number 1 is Kirk Cameron's Saving Christmas. I'm kidding. It's Grandpa. I just wanted
But that was a little out the
Yeah,
box.
I always figured you were a big Kirk Cameron fan.
it's horrifying, isn't it? But
Yeah.
but no, I love Gremlins. I don't know if anyone could tell,
No.
It's it's a favorite. It's a staple to watch every Christmas. It fits that perfect bracket of something demented to watch around the holiday season that still also feels a bit warm and fuzzy. It's kind of, and not just for the gremlins, but just the overall feeling you get from watching the movie. And no, it's great, and it's easily my favorite of Joe Dante's
I
film.
agree.
Great one.
The Howling would be probably a close second. It's a classic, and there's not much more I can say about it.
And I speak as Siskel and Ebert again. I know they didn't like it because they said it was too scary for kids, but I think that's exactly why kids like it, is because it's not made. I don't think kids really want a movie that's like made kiddish. Maybe if you're really small, but I know when I was young, like I would want to watch something that's not made to be like a childish movie. So I think it's a movie you could watch as a kid, but you're going to enjoy it as an adult too.
Yeah.
But it's got all the elements. It's fun. It still is like scary and cool monsters. And so you got the scary Stripe, but then you've got one of the cutest guys around there.
Yep. And Dick Miller. Right.
Oh yeah.
That's who you mean by the cutest one, right?
You may find out very briefly that I love it as well. So what's your number one, Troy?
My number one, I may have cheated a little bit, but it's all versions of A Christmas Carol.
Oh, okay. Excellent.
Because
I almost did that too, but I decided to pick two specifically.
No, I'm proud of you for doing that, because but there's certain things about Scrooge that I absolutely adore, and then there are certain things about a lot of the different Christmas carols, like even like the Muppet Christmas Carol. I think it's great.
Mm-hmm. I stand by the Mr. Magoo. It's on my
Mr.
honorable
Magoo is
mention.
Tremendous. Yeah,
the saddest song ever written, isn't it?
Agreed. Totally agreed.
What are your thoughts on the Mickey's Christmas Carol from the 80s?
That one's okay. It's worth watching, but yeah, I just think any and all versions of A Christmas Carol.
So far, the one I've seen is the George C. Scott one.
Okay, I like that one too. That one's good. The one with oh God, the hell's his name? Patrick Stewart's Christmas Carol's real good too.
All right.
Trista, your number one.
Well, my number one is Scrooge with Bill Murray.
Nice.
Well, that falls under that heading too.
Yeah, it does. I always cry at the end when the little boy talks. Every year I watch it, and every year I cry. I love that. And I love Carol Kane and Bill Murray. I mean, the cast is so great.
Yeah. This is a fun one. I'm glad that many versions of Christmas Carol made everyone's list. My number one is also Gremlins.
Nice.
So perfect. For me, it's a perfect movie. It's fun, makes me feel like a kid. It's also scary and cool monsters. So it works all around for me.
Agreed.
And I agree. Watch it now, and you feel, I feel like a little kid when watching it. It's good.
It was only omitted from my list because I didn't think of it.
Yes.
And it probably would have been there as well.
Well, last year they had a double feature, it and E.T. Right before LA. It was very fun to see. It was cool. There was a lot of little kids there too, and I didn't know if little kids still went to the theater, but that was fun to see.
That is good.
And they didn't cut out penis breath of that on that ET. It was the old uncut version. Yeah, they cut out penis breath, and they digitally take out all the guns from the police officers.
That's depressing.
Yes. I mean, it's one of the most iconic scenes when she calls them penis breath. But anyway, that was really fun.
It was an excellent 13.
Yes. So we got a couple other things to do here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go on.
I was just wondering if anybody had honorable mentions.
I have a few here. Mr. Magoo's Christmas Carol brought up and did the games. I have a couple other here, but let's hear some other people's and then
Mine were already covered by you guys. so
Okay.
I don't have
Oh,
anything.
okay. I think most of mine were too, except for maybe Silent Night with Malcolm McDowell from like
Oh, the remake of Silent,
2012.
okay.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one mostly because of Malcolm. He's really good in it.
Okay. Well, I get good tidings. Sorry, what was that?
Donald Logue too. He's in that, and he's very good. as well.
Yep.
I like him. Sorry, go on.
That's all right. Red Christmas, I really like.
Oh yeah.
I think it's underrated. Modern Christmas horror movie. Good Tidings, also really good. It's a very gritty British Christmas horror movie.
I forgot about that one too. I enjoyed that one.
Elves is absolutely terrible, but I love it.
Yep.
With Grizzly Adams. I know that's not his real name, but
I think it
Saw
is.
that recently.
have you ever seen Elves, Justin?
I did recently, actually.
Yeah, it's terrible, but it's awesome.
Oh yeah.
I think they have the one like gruesome claw. And
They
just
don't
share
even
it.
have a whole
Yeah.
elf. They have an arm and a head.
Yeah.
So I'm a fan of any time in a movie when it's just like they just have like something stuck in front of the camera, like going like that to attack. That's kind of my kind of thing. I should do that in a short, I guess. But yeah,
Be attacked by your carrot nose.
exactly. Yeah. But and if you explain what Elves is about, like I think I'd convince myself that it's awesome, but it's really terrible. But it's about this grandfather who wants to make the master. He's like an old Nazi, and he wants to make the master race through incest with his granddaughter and an elf. And this will somehow bring about the master race of the Nazis. It makes no sense at all. It's just awful, but I love it. That sounded really skeevy, but it's not. It's just a dumb movie. And Puka, which is a fun movie. It's on the Hulu After Dark.
I don't know that one.
It's good. I actually like most of those. I would suggest. It's big, kind of like me, like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody else have any ones that weren't mentioned?
I have a couple actually.
Okay.
One is really not much of a horror movie, especially in comparison to its prequel, but I saw it recently and thought about it a lot. Curse of the Cat People.
Oh, okay.
That is a Christmas movie, actually, for anyone that hasn't seen it or has seen it. And there was one other one that we kind of mentioned this one, but Mickey's Christmas Carol, because that was something that did actually terrify me as a kid, and it's actually very dark and just. So those would be my two.
Excellent. Good choice. By the way, 2 Minute Cage also says Buster Poindexter and Scrooge. They're a fan of Buster Poindexter and Scrooge.
He was great in what was that King one where he's hunting the cat? He's the head man.
Cat's Eye?
I think maybe no, it wasn't Cat's Eye. It was can't think of it now. Or maybe it might have been a King story in another anthology one. Maybe not Creep Show, the Tales from the Dark Side, the movie.
Tales from the Dark Side's a really underrated anthology.
Yeah, I love Tales from the Dark Side.
Yeah, has one of the best minis.
In it.
Yeah, that's the one then. That's the one with Buster Poindexter is like the assassin that the old guy from Preetsy's Honor. I'm sure he has a name, but I don't know what it is. He hires him to kill his cat.
Oh, yeah, I know who you mean. You'd see him in everything back in the day. So, all right. So, for all the fine people who share without your head, help spread the head. You like the show, I assume, since you're here watching it. So, if you share it on Twitter or Facebook, or you go spray paint it on your neighbor's car, I don't actually recommend that. But you share the show. I keep track of it. Let me know. I know if it's on Facebook or Twitter, probably, but if it's somewhere else, let me know. I keep track of all the names, and when we get prizes, we're gonna give them away, and that's how we're gonna give them away. So I've got all the names in here that have been sharing the show this month, and someone is gonna win Possessor, which is right up here, I believe. I can't really see, but
You're
I'm gonna...
nailing it. Yeah.
Excellent.
That's it.
Possessor, really cool movie by Brandon Cronenberg. So you're gonna win Blu-ray. I think it's a 4K Ultra too. I think I have a name here. Good Lord, James Lamont.
You have a receipt, I think.
Yes.
From
Oh, that's great.
James Lamont, very cool. From it came from the 508 Productions. He makes a lot of cool short horror films up in the Boston area.
Nice.
And since it's this is our last show before Christmas, I have a surprise. We're going to give away 2 copies of Possessor. Thanks to the fine folks of Well Go USA. So, who wins the second copy? Who is this? It's backwards. Also, oddly enough, someone else from Boston, Jim McDonough.
Oh, nice.
Very cool. He makes makes a lot of very fun movies. Yep. Tiny Clones and 2 filmmaker friends of mine. And there's no shenanigans here. Very good.
That's the snowman.
Exactly.
Sure, you can always trust a snowman.
Right. And we're also, since we had Severed Limbs 4 by the Chimney with Scare, with an amazing logo by Troy here.
Thank you.
The last 2, I was very lackadaisical in giving out the awards, but not this time. I have the awards right here.
Nice.
So, the Alexander Hawk Award, which is your most memorable or lovable character performance. The runners-up were Sherry Lee in Scaring Sherry and the dog in The Wickedest.
Nice.
The winner is David Lee Hess in Fetish. Very fun movie.
That's a great
one. It was the Marilyn Burns Award, which is the best hero in a short. The runners-up were Let Me Help You and Warrior Predator, and the best hero goes to Trista Robinson and Having Your Cake.
Oh, what? Did you do that?
Congratulations.
Thank you guys.
And this was voted on by the viewers of the festival.
And Justin wrote this.
Yes.
Film, yeah. This is so special. This is how Justin and I met. So that's
really? Oh, that's awesome.
That's
tremendous.
tremendous.
I did not expect that. Thank you.
The Gunnar Hansen Award for the best villain. The runners-up are Better to Taste You With and Having Your Cake. The winner is David McMahon in C is for Colorophilia. I don't know how you say this. It's the sexual, if you're into clowns, basically. But it's an excellent short. It's very creepy. The Ben Chapman Award for Best Creature or Monster. The runners-up were I Laugh on the Outside and Murderous Space Fatherfuckers. And the winner is Predator and Predator Warrior.
Nice.
The Conrad Brooks Award for the funniest short or performance. The runners-up are Murderous Space Fatherfuckers and Fetish. And the winner is Poetry Betwixt Friendships. Friendship by Bob Rose, which is that one was very insane. Herschel Gordon Lewis Award, Best Kill or Goriest Short. Runners-up, The Better to Taste You With and Fetish. The winner, Shiny Diamonds.
Oh, nice.
That's a great one.
Yeah, it's a really good one. The Joel Reed Award, which is the craziest, weirdest, or most bizarre short. Runners-up, C is for Chlorophilia and Star Beast. And the winner is Poetry Betwixt Friendship by Bob Rose. Well deserved. The Angus Scrim Award, scariest moment, performance, or short. Runners up, Killing Time and Scaring Sherry. And the winner is Let Me Help You.
Very good.
The Robin Hardy Award, which was previously won by Justin here. For Best Director, runners up, Bob Rose for Poetry Betwixt Friendship, and David Lee Hess and Richard H. Perry for Fetish. And the winner, George James Fraser for Scaring Sherry. The Betsy Palmer Award for Best Female Performance, which was won by Trista last time. Runners up, Yara Ben Bishti for Let Me Help You, and Liesl Hansen for Help. And the winner is Trista Robinson for Having Your Cake.
Oh,
Excellent.
Nice.
shut up.
Time winner.
Thank you. Merry Christmas to me. Gosh. Thank you. Thanks, guys.
The Dieter Laser Award for Best Male Performance. Runners up, Seth Chatfield for Just Relax, and J. Allen Tucker for Killing Time. And the winner is David Lee Hess in Fetish.
Very good.
Well deserved. And the Sid Haig Award for Best Short of the Festival. Runners up are Fetish and Poetry Betwixt Friendship. And the winner is Having Your Cake.
Very good.
That's amazing.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. And that's awesome. Marshall will be so excited to hear that as well.
No.
So I didn't have time to do I was going to show them, but I didn't have time to make the trophies, but they'll be up on the page in the next day or so.
You've done remarkably well for a man wearing a snowman.
There's no way I can. I
You've
probably
done
wouldn't.
very
I don't know
well.
how. I don't think I would have been able to screen share with this anyway. So it's probably a good thing. And I don't want to ruin the illusion that I'm not really a snowman and take off.
It's true. Don't do that. Yeah.
I should have put gloves, but I wouldn't have been able to do anything.
I've never had a snowman tell me I won an award.
I know, that's pretty exciting.
There's many firsts here since joining Without Your Head. That's one of the perks.
Frosty was the fastest belly whopper and all that.
It's kind of, at first I thought it was hot, but it's actually kind of cozy.
Is it?
I think about it, yeah.
You might wear that all the time.
Okay, could be my new thing. The thing is, it's not just Christmas. I mean, it's all winter.
Yep.
That's true.
I think too much of a good thing. We don't want to spoil all the listeners.
Yeah, save it for those Christmas moments.
Exactly. Well, this has been excellent, and thank you, Justin, for joining us.
Mhm.
No worries. Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure as always.
Yeah, I'm jealous of your gizmo.
That is a cool gizmo.
Yeah, and I like that when it's sitting on your lap, it fits right into the. It's almost like it would just attach to the.
Velcro, you just
Yeah.
press the
Body.
back on there.
You
Yeah.
need like a baby Bjorn.
Oh, that would be perfect, actually.
So, are you excited if they do the Gremlins? I know they always talk about Gremlins 3.
Gremlins 3, the more I hear about it, that they're relying more on practical effects with it, and that they're bringing Zach Galligan back for it. Yeah, I'd say I'm pretty excited for it. Just, at this point, just waiting to see a trailer.
Yeah. It's fun. I mean, it's fun. I'd like to see another one, especially like you said with it wouldn't be the same if they did CG Gremlins. They'd just be sad. All right. Well, anything else anyone wants to throw out there? Any plugs, Justin?
No, nothing at the moment.
All right. You can follow Without Your Head everywhere. Just look up Without Your Head. Follow us, rate us on everything. As long as it's positive, don't give us bad ratings. If we can do that, just go do something else.
Yeah.
But
Find a new hobby.
right. So we'll be back next week with Brian Usna, and we might have probably another show too. But anyway, go to the group, join the group, and all the updates will be there. It'll be a good time. And thanks to all the other shows on the Without Your Head network.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's time for a laugh. So this is Nasty Neal.
This is Terrible Troy.
I'm Treacherous Trista.
And I'm Beheading Justin.
And this is without.
Sure.
Head, Justin.
Yeah.
There you go. Excellent. Now we all laugh, Justin.
Oh,
I try to find the end button.
no. They're gonna be
He's just gonna make me laugh like this forever.
Happy holidays.
Yes,
Yes,
happy
happy
holidays,
holidays.
everybody.
Stay
Thank
Thank
safe,
you guys so
everybody.
much.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Number 13 Doctors of December will be sometime next week too. We'll figure all this
Woohoo.
out.